Our retirees here tonight would start leading us in the pledge.
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. All right. At this point in time, I'd like to recognize all of our retirees this evening. Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for all your years of service to Harrison County. We have Elizabeth Rice, Christine Fergale, Ray Snell, Mary Cooper, Tom Paul, Samuel Sirianni, Linda Packett, Diana Miller, Tracy Marazzi, Diana Davison, Christine Wright, Mary Williams Romano, Danny Dexon, Mary Beth Angari, Kim Burton, Ann Crow, Susan Alvis, Scott Curry, Brett Riddle, Donna Stending, Kimberly McCord, Kathy Mayo, Lynn Hudson, Brian Carter, Timothy Cochran, Melissa Heinerman, Janet Collins, Carol Lanham, Richard Roby, Trina Cromer, Angela Ammons, Nancy Griffith, David Riffle, Melissa Thacker, Julie Folks, James Ellis, Russ Nutt, Diana Bartlett, Randall Lance, Glenda Tucker, Sharon Harris, Betsy Phillips, Julie Channel, Barbara Renee, Monica Audia, Ronald Lafini, Tammy Romano, Sue Brown, Rebecca Lynn Menendez, Katrina Hamrick, Diana Cormack, Judith Manley, Melinda Mack, Janet Snell, Twyla Miller, and Jeffrey Richardson. Please put your hands together for a great round. A big thank you to all of our staff, our retirement staff, and may they enjoy their retirement years. And if anybody is interested in subbing, please contact our office.
I still do.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
All right. Next item on our agenda for special recognitions and presentations. Oh, yes, you're more than welcome to stay, but if you would like to leave, you can go ahead and leave. Thank you for coming.
It's cold out and snow. Let's try it. Snow.
All right. Next on our agenda, we have Bridgeport High School, a recognition for the AP Scholar Honor Roll for Advanced Placement Achievements. Bridgeport High School earns recognition on AP Scholar Roll for Advanced Placement Achievements. We have several West Virginia schools earned a spot on the prestigious 2024 AP School Honor Roll, which recognizes institutions excelling in advanced placement programs and expanding access for students according to the College Board. This is the public content. Yes, we have the teachers here currently. The teachers can come up. And Mrs. Matthews.
And Mr. Edwards.
And Mr. Edwards. Please come forward. Mr. Howard, Mrs. McCarthy, Mrs. Kimball, Mrs. Lohman, Mr. Elliott, Mr. Lister, Mr. Kimball, Ms. Hathaway, and Mr. Fred.
Good job, guys. Should be in
Dude, right in the middle.
Such a
But I want to balance your picture out.
This will be fun.
Okay.
Well, we have a certificate for Bridgeport High School that says, from the Harrison County Board of Education, recognizing you for earning recognition on AP School Honor Roll for Advanced Placement Achievement. So you can display that in your building somewhere. So appreciate each and every one of you. I know how difficult it is, and you guys work hard, and as she said, a well-oiled machine going on with AP. Do you know offhand how many AP credits you had last
So
year?
we had 82.5% of our kids got college credit last year
Wow.
in their exams. We had some teachers that had 100% pass rate.
Wow,
Yeah.
very good.
It's amazing.
And that's all you guys, so thank you so much from the board and from everybody here. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Not
I
bad.
thought Mary Frances would love to.
Behind the scenes.
All right. Thank you all for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
Sorry. There you go. I'll put it in me.
All right, now we have our math field day winners. Special recognition for our elementary school math field day winners. Who wants to go up there? Is it the certificate? All right, we'll start with the elementary math school field day winners. Fourth grade, first place overall. Oliver Powell.
Are you reading?
Yes, I'll read the names out. Yeah.
We didn't practice ahead of time.
Yeah, West Milford Elementary. Second place, Jane Dong, Simpson Elementary. Third place, Colby Maxwell, Lumberport Elementary. Honorable mention, Grayson Wilson, Johnson Elementary. Congratulations.
Hey, David, you want the fifth grade up as well?
I think so.
To do all the
We'll do
elements.
that, all right. Fifth grade, first place, Ian Stemple, Johnson Elementary. Second place, Payson Lindsay. Where do you go to school? Big L. Big L, congratulations. Oh, sorry about that. All right. Yeah. Third place, Aria Kiefer, Washington, oh, sorry, no, fifth grade. Grayson Hill, Simpson Elementary. And honorable mention, Caleb Shockey, West Milford Elementary. Not able to be here. And our principals, if you would like to come up, any principals we have here this evening? From West Milford, Simpson, Johnson, Big L, Lumberport.
Show those certificates. There you go.
Great job. All right, now we can move on to our middle school math field day winners. For the sixth grade, first place, Leon Vorst, Bridgeport Middle. Second place, Trenton Kinney, South Harrison Middle School. Third place, Aria Kiefer, WI Middle School. Honorable mention, Malachi White, Mountaineer Middle School.
Hey, come back now. Go shake my hand.
Seventh grade, Anna Song, Bridgeport Middle. Second place, Jacob Zarco, Notre Dame. Third place, Adeline Hill, Lincoln Middle. And honorable mention, Timothy Templeton, Lincoln Middle. Principals, would you like to come up? Oh, did I not do
Finish
eighth
the
grade?
middle
Okay, finish the middle schools, all right. Eighth grade, first place, John Tran, BMS. All right, second place, Tanner Conch, Mountain Middle. Third place, Vina Rao, BMS. Honorable mention, Aiden Bott, Alden Bott,
Oh.
Lincoln Middle. Now the principals come up. Take photos.
Look over here. Guys, flip all your certificates out. There you go. Show them off.
You gotta be loud and proud.
Yeah, show them off.
Don't move, we got some parents coming. That's not a smile. Don't embarrass your mother.
Why not?
I'll embarrass you.
There's one.
Okay, years of practice, love. Okay, now you're released.
Congratulations. All right, now we have our ninth grade. First place, Isaac Boyce, BHS. Second place, Caitlin Borges Kreiner, Notre Dame. Third place, Cole Courtney, BHS. And honorable mention, Thurston Eccleberry, South Harrison High School. All right, 10th through 12th grade. First place, Leroy Song, BHS. Second place, William Northey, BHS.
Hey, come back. Congratulations. There you go.
Third place, Levi Wright, South Harrison High School. Fourth place, Hunter Miley, BHS.
Congratulations.
Fifth place, Wade Lane, RCB. Sixth place, Ashton Fulton, Lincoln. Seventh place, Nathaniel Linger, South Harrison. Eighth place, Oren Stufen, BHS.
Congratulations.
Ninth place, Kevin Dong, South Harrison. Tenth place, Gianna Fragman, Lincoln. And honorable mention, Hope Blackwell, Lincoln. And principals.
Even out a little bit.
I'm going behind, guys.
Oh, there you go.
All right. You two come down here. We'll make 2 rows. You guys come down here. Short, come here. Short, come here. Tall, in the back. Oh, see, that would show up.
Math people should know how to do this.
Good work. Congratulations. You're more than welcome to stick around for our meeting, but we'll offer you the same as the retirees. You can leave as well.
You're not interested in finance?
I got, thank you.
Numbers.
Hard pass, Dr. Santilli, hard pass.
I'm disappointed.
I didn't see her.
See you Thursday.
Oh, sorry, Josie.
Wow, thanks.
All right, moving right along. Next, we have Amy Mortensen, 2024 Elbert K. Fretwell Outstanding Educator Award. Liberty High School's Amy Mortensen, dedicated chemistry and environmental science teacher, has been honored with the 2024 Elbert K. Fretwell Outstanding Educator Award. This recognition is awarded by the Mountaineer Area Council of Scouting America and will be formally presented at the Distinguished Citizen Dinner in November. The Elbert K. Fretwell Outstanding Educator Award, initiated by the Educational Relationships Subcommittee of the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America, acknowledges educators who significantly incorporate scouting values into their teaching. The award is named after Dr. Elbert K. Fretwell, Columbia University professor and a pioneer in the scouting movement, who believed in the power of scouting programs as vital extracurricular learning opportunities that foster positive values and community service. Congratulations to Mrs. Mortensen on this remarkable achievement for her continued dedication to educating and inspiring the next generation. Congratulations.
Mr. Haynes and Mr. Harris.
We don't do anything, we just turn it loose and let it go.
Stay out of the way.
Stay out of the way.
Who else do you have with you?
Well, Renee is the cat.
Well, it is.
They're too busy pictures.
Too busy.
They did their picture taking that.
Now, did you go to Pittsburgh for a celebration or a
We went
recognition?
to Morgantown and all the senators, different people were there and they had different Eagle Scouts there and they got to tell us about their programs. They honored past Eagle Scouts that are now lawyers and various important people in the world. And they had myself and a college professor. We were sitting there, what are we doing here?
I could say, and I don't know whether you worked with her, but my children had her in for chemistry and phenomenal chemistry teacher. So Liberty is fortunate to have her and we appreciate you so
Thank
much.
you.
Amy did,
I'm sure you
Amy
can
did
say-
a wonderful job. I was blessed to be her principal for a number of years and watch the amazing things she did in her classroom with her students, and you still continue to do that. Much appreciated. Congratulations on that.
anyone who gets me through chemistry the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's another one, like.
Two sections though.
Kim one and Kim two, and then Joe.
No, different sections, Jason.
All right, next we have Jocelyn Hump, West Virginia Emerging Leader for Humpy. Sorry, Humpy. My apologies. For the West Virginia Emerging Leader for SASBO.
Congratulations.
Jocelyn is a professional accountant at Harrison County Schools. West Virginia has been selected to serve as West Virginia's Emerging Leader of the Southeastern Association of School Business Officials. SASBO is recognized as a regional organization composed of over 4,000 members in 12 southeastern states. The goal is to provide networking, professional development, and relevant information to promote and advance personnel engaged in positions supporting education in areas of business and administrative services throughout the Southeast. We use strengths of our emerging leaders to develop innovative ideas for SASBO's relevance in the near and distant future, said Sandy Hollowell, SASBO Executive Director. Jocelyn is clearly one of the few that has proven to be an emerging leader throughout the Southeast.
Should make her talk because she doesn't talk during the day. This is a certificate from the Harrison County Board of Education presented to Jocelyn Humpy for being chosen to represent the state of West Virginia as the emergent leader for SASBO. So congratulations. I'm glad you're part of Harrison County Schools. And do you have anybody here? Oh. We'll recognize her husband. She just recently married.
Oh,
How long have you been married? A month? 2 months. 2 months. So congratulations. Would you like to put that?
We see where you're saying.
That's right.
At least he's here, right?
All right, that completes our special recognitions and presentations. Brings us down to our delegation section. We have 4 delegations this evening. Our first delegation is Ryan Deems.
Good evening. I'm here representing the Harrison County Education Association, and I want to talk about just a couple of things real quick. The first being the third-party administrative benefit issue on the agenda. And I was informed before we started that there won't be action tonight, which I think is a good idea. It just kind of shocked employees when they saw it, 2 days before Thanksgiving, that we were terminating one party of insurance and going to another. And that kind of led to a run on information and people Googling and, like the doctors tell you, don't get a medical degree online. Probably think you're going to die. Well, I don't know. I don't know if the information that people have found online is true, complete, whatever. It doesn't look good, just based on what we're finding. So I hope that we have a lively discussion tonight. And people ask me, I got a lot of messages said, hey, why didn't you say anything about this? And I said, well, I didn't know. And so, the lack of information has caused some unneeded heartburn. I'm sure some of you have been very busy on the phone. Ms. Kynes, I heard you had quite a day yesterday. So, some questions I've received, and I think it's just something to keep in mind while we're having this discussion tonight. What about vision insurance? As people are doing Googling, they're finding stuff about dental, but they're not finding a lot about vision. There's a limited network at this point, and that could be because they haven't expanded into this area. People aren't using them. I think that we need to have some assurances that they will expand, that people can stay with who they currently use. What does the cost look like compared to what we are currently paying? And just as much as we can know, why is this change necessary? Obviously, I understand that there are some things that have to be kept behind closed doors. There are things that you can't discuss publicly, but some kind of explanation, I think would help just let people understand the issues better. So I'm looking forward to that conversation tonight. The other thing I wanted to talk about were heating and cooling issues. So in the fall, we had to close a couple of buildings because of air conditioner units, and no one is blaming maintenance. I know Mr. Lopez does a great job. He's very responsive whenever we have an issue, and we're really grateful for that. I think that the general complaint is when it's constantly happening in a room and the administrators are dismissive, or they're told by the county office, well, you're low priority and we'll get to you. I've had administration say, well, you just have to deal with it, or maybe you should go buy a fan. Said that to somebody earlier this school year. Yesterday there was an elementary school. The rooms were 60, 65 degrees, small elementary children, okay? And as an education association, we're worried about adults and our working conditions. But as I tell everyone, teacher working conditions are student learning conditions. And adults are a lot better equipped to weather these issues, these heat and cooling issues, than children are. And I think that we just need to approach it from a place of the administrators accommodating and being helpful, and not accusatory or, well, too bad. Okay? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Next, we have Cheryl Burr.
All right, good evening. I am Cheryl, and I'm representing All Smiles Dental today. And we came to the board meeting today to respectfully ask the board to reconsider the changing of the dental insurance provider from American Benefits to Bento. Bento recently sent us a fee schedule that does not compare to the current benefits that the employees and the dentist offices are getting from American Benefits. I know there's been some issues, admin issues. I've dealt with them myself. I've been in the dental field working with insurance for 15 years. So, I know there's always, when you're dealing with an insurance company, and you hate to give them a bad rep, but, they're hard to deal with sometimes. But when the two people work together, there's always can be a resolution. And when the resolution is that it benefits the employees that are getting the benefits in your community, then I think that's where the reconsideration needs to be. American Benefits has provided the employees of Harrison County dental insurance for years, and the coverage is excellent. Dental insurance policies, American Benefits is one of the best that we have seen, if not the best. There's a lot out there, Delta Dental, Cigna, you could go on and on. American Benefits for the Harrison County Board of Education has one of the best dental policies that we've seen. And we see them come in and out of our office all day long. And it's one of the best. And we always tell the employees, if we get the opportunity to tell them, I don't know anything else about your benefits, but your dental benefits, you can't get any better. anywhere you go or in what you buy. So we always try to make that opportunity to tell them what they have, and it helps the dental community also when they have good benefits, then, they don't have to pay the remaining balance, So, you guys have provided them for many years with good dental benefits, and we hate to see it change. And what we have gotten from Bento does not compare. Now, how they got this information to us, I don't know, but we have the information, so we were kind of shocked because I've talked to people at the Board of Education. I've talked to American Benefits numerous times. Back in, it was about April and May of 23, we had an issue not getting paid from American Benefits. We went back and forth. Is it American Benefits? Is it Board of Education? Back and forth, back and forth. It's admin issues. It was policies that were changed at the board and American Benefits, and it just was admin issues that if everybody works together could have been solved very easily, and they were solved. But it took us about 6 months for the dentist offices to get paid because of admin issues, and there was policies that were changed and things like that. And that's not acceptable, but it eventually worked out. Me and a lot of other people might have a lot more gray hairs because of it, but it worked out. And then here recently, because in February of 24, Change Health, which is a third party that deals with the electronic claims, they had a cyber attack. So that shut down a lot of things in the insurance, sending claims back and forth because most of it's electronic. So, and American Benefits had a little bit of difficulty figuring all that out. But with working with them, I worked with them and they said, send us paper claims. We'll get them entered as soon as we can and we'll get your money to you. But that didn't happen because the Board of Education and American Benefits aren't working together. I call the Board of Education and I get one answer, and I call them and get another answer. And I'm not saying who is wrong and right, but we just need to work together. You're providing your employees and the dental community a wonderful benefit. And I just think before you consider changing, just look at it, ask your employees, and why are you changing it? Why are you changing it? Why don't the employees know? Everybody, when we talked about it, the employees would say, gosh, we haven't heard. And the only reason that we heard is because Bento sent us information. And how they knew and sent it to us, I don't know. I don't know who gave them our information or anything, but anyway, so, that's what we're asking you, is just to reconsider and think of your employees and get with them, talk to dental offices. Any one of us would be more than welcome to sit down and talk to you guys what benefits, other employees do. Other counties have American Benefits and we don't have a problem getting the money. But for some reason we do with Harrison County, and I don't know where it falls, why the communication is not there. Now, we do have more people from Harrison County.
Ms. Bird, let me, your 5 minutes is
Okay,
but if
I'd like
you would
to
like
talk.
to stick around afterwards, I'm
Okay.
sure that would be no
Okay.
problem.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Gabriel Rhodes.
Should she have more of my time?
Yes,
I'm very
yes,
short.
you can give her her time.
Finish what
Yes.
you were saying.
Oh, okay. The only thing I was gonna say is just give your employees the courtesy of telling them why you're doing it.
Well, wait, are you forfeiting your time to her?
I'm just the
Finish
portion
up.
of my time, finish what she's saying, the forfeit
Yeah.
portion of my time.
That's
How
all
much time would you want to forfeit?
How long do you need?
Just a minute.
Great.
Okay.
Just.
Sorry, sir, but I can't.
No,
No problem.
Just give your employees the consideration that they have a great benefit, and let them help you decide if they want to change that. I don't know the ins and outs, of it all. We don't, because you guys have to make those decisions, but just consider them and tell them why and what's going on, and be upfront with them and be upfront with us, because we're going to hate to see it go, but, we know that's not our decision, so. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Mr. Rhodes.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking on behalf of myself
not a member of my faculty, not a member of my union. But I will tell you start with a very personal story to echo these other conversations. And the benefit change and the lack of information about it, me personally as someone who has to read every day for my class and to be informed, terrified me. As someone who going to the dentist is a very personal kind of thing. If interaction with a dentist as the son of a medical professional, you pick your dentist, you find your dentist, that you stay there. I teach at RCB. The Saturday before the Friday night before my interview for RCB, I shattered the 2 front teeth in my face to the point where I joked with my wife that I look like Sloth from the Goonies. And I messaged my dentist and said, hey, I have an interview on Monday. My face looks like this, and sent him a picture. Again, doctor's son, he would understand. He's not going to get freaked out about it. And he said, I'll be there, but you have to be there at 7 a.m. I'll open my practice for you. Everything from here to here is fake. It was a bridge. Thank God benefits covered most of it. It was still about $2,000. This is a situation for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other employees in the county, a scary time. Not scary, but like a time of struggle, because we don't have a ton of opportunities in terms of other people to go to. This dentist that I'm working with, only just at that moment had gotten ability to have American benefits, and would have been a struggle for me otherwise, because again, I'm a school teacher. And so part of my conversation this evening, and I'll be quick because I've got to get to a rehearsal, is about the idea that we need more information. But it's not just there. This is not a conversation about like a lack of communication. Our communications director, he's amazing. David, you're great. But also as a member of the faculty at RCB, again, not speaking for RCB faculty at all, I also want to talk to you about, we've got a way to figure out conversations with our merger. And as someone who is planning one musical for the spring, and already planning something for the summer and something for the fall, and trying to plan, hopefully teaching more classes next year. And for myself, I'm already started for next year. I know my wife, who's the choir director, is already starting her plans for next year. And I would love, love, love to have more of you in my building talking on a daily basis about how this is going to go. I know things, like Mr. Dean said, things have to happen behind closed doors, but that information for us and the timing of it, the buildings need to know too, because we are starting to make plans, and we want to give our kids and this merger situation that has been, from my eyes, contentious, the best opportunity to be the best school that we can. Because RCB, I work in the best theater in the county, and truthfully the best theater in the region. Trust me, I've been to a bunch of them. I would love to know what kids I'm gonna get, how these things are gonna look. Am I gonna have my green room, or is it a classroom? Am I gonna have to go, the green room, the room where we prep and do our do the makeup, teach dance, teach all these, it's an open room that's been there the length of the school. My understanding is it might be a classroom, we don't know yet. And that uncertainty for me, as an anxious person, is tough, because I want to make plans. I have my plans out, a year plus in advance, and I know athletic coaches do. I know arts teachers in my building and at Liberty, who again are going to provide some of the best opportunities for our children, period, need that time, and that seems to be dwindling for us. That is a discussion in the building. That is a discussion between my coworkers, my friends who are coworkers at Liberty, and I'm sure it's happening at all levels in that merger. And I know you all are working really, really hard for us, but I am advocating very, very much so for an opportunity to know more and to get some answers quicker. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. The last speaker is Roger Suter.
Hi, I'm Dr. Roger Suter. I work at All Smiles Dental. I've had the privilege of taking care of a lot of Harrison County teachers for the past 22 years. And whenever we talk about oral health, it really is a main component of overall health. You can't have healthy bodies without healthy teeth. And whenever I went through and I looked at the Bento Dento, it's kind of hard to say compared to American Benefits, it's going to significantly affect our teachers and your guys' employees, just for the simple fact that quality dentistry takes quality time. And just to run down through a few of the different things that it's going to cost your employees a lot more out of pocket. For the example of a simple cleaning, bite wings, and x-rays, usually it runs around $224, American Benefits pays everything. Bento Dento is going to pay about $120. So your employees are going to have to come up with about $100 more for a cleaning. And for simple things as such as a crown, if you guys have a crown in my office, runs about $1,200. American Benefits covers about $1,000 of it. So they pay about $200 out of pocket. With Bento Dento, they're going to pay about $900 out of pocket, which is significant money. That there was a lot of great dental insurances out there. Bento Dento is not one of them. So I don't know who, I would be willing to come in because my prices are fixed. So it's one of those things, I'm not making more money from American Benefits, but your employees are going to have to pay more out of pocket. That if you guys want a third party to come in and help to look over what the employees are going to pay compared, I'd be more than willing to come in and help the board to make a good decision for the oral health of Harrison County. Because we have teachers come from all over. Harrison County has always been a pride to say that how great you guys take care of your employees, and everybody is jealous of the dental benefits that you guys have. But Bento is a low tier dental benefits. So it's going to significantly decrease the ability of our patients to be able to pay for dentistry, and it's a shame. So if there's any way I can help, I'd love to help. And I know that Kelly Hill Ortiz has talked about it. A lot of the dentists in the area would love to help you guys come up, to help people have access to care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and like I said, if anyone would like to stick around afterwards to discuss any of this, we will be able to do that. But it is on the agenda. You might hear some things that might change your mind. Next item is superintendent's update.
Sure, at the board, you should have a copy. I went ahead, we had a request for just attendance numbers. So from last year and the year before, so you just have a copy of that there. And then I wanted to give you an idea that for the next meeting, Susan Miller is going to give you an update on special education achievement. She's dug into that, looked at that. She'll give you an update on the next meeting. To address one of the questions in the delegations, I actually have a folder here we've been working on, and I did tell the board I'd provide them with a timeline of what we're looking at, and I think maybe it was practice. Timeline of what we're looking at for the consolidation. There is a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I know there's some impatience with that, but we're really working. We'll have the administrators placed on the next agenda. We just finally had those meetings, met with all that. We've been verifying seniority. Ms. Leesburg's been working diligently on that, verifying seniority. She's getting her drawings done. And so we finally met individually, which it takes time to do that personal meeting, to get our administrators placed. And once they're placed, then that's when you start looking at your schedules, master schedules and things. And I actually did tell Mrs. Knight, we've had several other meetings too, on what can we do to bring the two schools together. And we said that once the staff gets placed, and we're looking at early January, trying to figure out how to logistically do that, because it's going to take a full day for staff to select their positions. We want everybody in their jobs. What we're looking at, second meeting in January, we're looking at the first one.
I'm hoping to do Liberty in December and then.
So once the employees are in, we know who's going to be in those buildings, that's when everything really will take shape, because then I told Mrs. Knight, we'll start pulling the teams together, like the English department, the music department. It's hard to do that until we know who's going to be there. There could be a lot of time spent meeting with not the employees that may be in those jobs. So that's why it is taking time. We're working through it methodically. We did sit down, we have some funding through Project Aware. We have Project Aware at WI and then at RCB. And there is funding to work on the strategic plan together, just like we did with our other consolidation. So we've got dates, I've got a calendar, I just haven't got it finalized yet on what we're doing for the students and the staff. But there will be input on the schedule. We have a draft master schedule or a structure in place. But I think the employees need to see that. I've got a meeting next week with the faculty senate chairs and the vice chairs and both of the buildings. So we have been meeting and having a lot of discussion on how to move forward and to get a schedule in place. So there will be a timeline coming out, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, because I think we've shored up the activities and things that we want to do, meet and greets and things with the kids, and we're trying to plan it from January to the end of the year, what it's going to look like. On top of making sure that we have the facilities ready, that's a whole other piece to it. We're working through projects to make sure the facilities are getting what they need between now. Of course, some of those projects like the, probably the addition of the cafeteria, we're waiting on funding for that. So that's going to be dependent on the funding and how we get that. So we are working on that, and you'll be, hearing and getting a timeline. It's just hard to do that until we have the staff in place. And I know that's hard to hear, but I know our Dr. Licker has already looked at the rooms, and so that's something that she'll address with the staff once she knows who her staff are. So anyway, so we are working on that. We've spent, had quite a few meetings to do that.
I got a question. In these meet and greets, when you're bringing the students all together, is there going to be food involved?
There could be. We've talked about that. We've talked about different things.
Anytime you provide
Meal days,
food,
feeding the kids,
if you feed them,
cookouts.
they will come.
Yeah, we've got some great ideas. I think we'll share those with the administrators once they get in place, and they can kind of pick and choose what they think would work, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
It's a Baptist ministry.
Also, the proposals for our survey went out last week. We should get those back on Monday, and we'll open those, look at them, and then I'll get those to you at the next meeting. So we'll know what comes in for that. Do we have a facilities update, Mr. Lucas?
Just real quick, because I talked about the electrical upgrade at South Harrison High School Complex. It all went extremely well. All the equipment should be brought online by, in that area, and that affected the elementary school and middle school as well, by January. So we're pleased. That's been a long time coming with parts. We do have people at Simpson working now, and that's a good thing. Another 4 projects going extremely well. You probably can give us a report on that.
Yeah.
But it is going very well. As far as you guys probably heard, we had a little problem with Liberty floor. Our guys are working on it. There was some water damage from the gym floor. We've been working with the administration there and also basketball coaches, because we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to play their final season at Liberty High School in their gym floor. So our guys are working very hard to try to get that taken care of. It's not major, but we're attempting to solve that issue. Real quick, I will address some of the concerns with the HVAC. I think I've mentioned before, and I think it's noteworthy to at least mention it. We've become so sophisticated with HVAC. It's all computerized. There's graphics and there's these controllers that control all the equipment, from diagnostic to management to now the zoning and the temperatures. So I had a very spirited conversation today with a contractor that gives us, a lot of the graphics and information, and helps us along with the HVAC equipment And they had guaranteed us that they were going to get things online and that they were going to provide our technicians with additional training. And they also are going to give us an upgrade so that our graphics looks the same across the board. I know that that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is, because a lot of times we're getting entry-level technicians, and for them to learn the system, which system runs what, we have multiple systems running, and I think that happens in a county as large as ours. So I think that this will help solve the problem. I don't think it'll ever be perfect because there's just so many systems. Some of the temperature fluctuations, I know that as Mr. Dean talked about, he gets calls like I do, and I think the superintendent does, probably the board members. Some of it is certainly a failure on some of the equipment. It could be that the graphics isn't visualized and it's not communicating with that equipment, and that is, we work with Casco to get that back online. And the other thing is those temperatures are zoned, so it's not one particular classroom that we're adjusting. So it could be, say, a fifth grade classroom, and I'm not going to mention the school because I had none in mind. So, and so you adjust that temperature. It's never as cold as they say, based on what we see in the computer, or as warm. But when you start adjusting it, you can adjust it 2 or 3 degrees, and one teacher's pretty comfortable. Now, there's another teacher that doesn't like that in that same zone. Now, it's too hot. So it really is somewhat of a juggling idea of how you can adjust it a little bit. So I do validate that there are some legitimate concerns. I validate there's some concerns that aren't as bad as they seem to be, but we take them all very serious, and we'll continue to work hard to make our students place them in the best learning environment possible. So I think I mentioned that before, and it's noteworthy. We are continuing to work on it today. We did have a very spirited conversation with that.
You want to update them on Norwood, what our plans are for Norwood?
Yes, so I did get the information that Stonewood is not interested in pursuing Norwood Elementary School. Reached out to possibly get it, auctioned off, and I talked to superintendent about that. We also have some other equipment, school buses and some things that we would be auctioning off as well. We've worked with Kaufman's in the past. They've done an excellent job, and we would like to move forward with working with them in the future.
Have we taken everything out of Norwood?
Well, I've talked to Julie, I've talked to Todd, Julie, and I've talked to Todd, and we still have time, even though we get it, as we prepare, we have a surveillance system in there that we want to leave it right up until we change hands, because we want to make sure that, we have security there. There's a few pieces of things that maybe, but a lot of it has already been moved.
Well,
And if there's any additional things, we could actually auction that off as well. We've done that in the past. And maybe we could slide a few other things from the lake basement in there that we would like to auction off. Some of our fixed assets that we would like to remove. Maybe, a lot of the stuff gets used and we never just throw it away. But we save so many things that we have a hard time storing all of it.
It's like there's wind air conditioners almost in every room on the front of the Norwood. I mean, are those going to go in the building, or?
That will be a discussion that we have to have. We don't really use window air conditioners in our school, so it may be a benefit and it might help with the price that we may get out of it. The facility is air conditioned, not a central air conditioned, but it is air conditioned. So.
And I don't know, those units may not be, I don't know how old they are, but
Well, I think
just ask Kaufman what he thinks. If it's
we can have our guys look at it and make sure everything's operational.
Yeah.
It's a better selling point than what you get out of them by selling them individually. I'm sure of that.
that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Davis. I wanted David Oliverio to give us an update just on media update, and we had some questions about advertising our school system because of the loss of enrollment.
Refresh.
So he's put together some things that is part of the scope of work that he does, so he does a lot of things behind the scenes as well with our media, so I thought he could share today just how much we do on social media.
So this update today is going to be, for the social media, it's actually just Facebook. We're gonna omit YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and, well, maybe, or who knows about TikTok. We still have a TikTok, but it might be outlawed in the United States here on the December 19th, so it's in limbo. But legally, we can never delete it, so it's gonna stay there in perpetuity. For Facebook, you have in front of you a lot of numbers, and a lot of it you're not going to really understand, and it may not make sense. Todd? We'll start with the first one here. This is called page reach. A page reach is the number of people who had any content from your pages or about your pages enter their screen. So if it hits somebody's screen, this is the amount of times that it happened, 7.8 million times, over 33 different accounts that we have. Now, we probably did better about 4 or 5 years ago with just our Harrison County schools, but we've started to kind of move people to where they should be. We found that the Harrison County Schools Facebook page was a little cluttered, and maybe people weren't getting what they needed from the individual schools. Recently, we've had a few schools really jump on the social media trend. Victory Elementary has gone absolutely crazy with social media. They love it. Lumberport Elementary has gone crazy with it. They love it. Johnson Elementary has been doing it for years. They are a step above everyone, but that's just what they have. But the rest of the schools are seeing a lot more value in this. We can build upon that because, and what we found is that a parent would rather go to the school's page, even though I run it. They'd rather get their information from Victory Elementary than from the Harrison County School Board about Victory Elementary. That's where they want to go. So we're giving them that. Next slide. This is post impressions. This is a number of times content that I published or we published from our accounts during the time frame, which was from July 1 of this year till November 24th of this year, was displayed on somebody's screens. This includes statuses, photos, links, videos, 12 million impressions, okay? 12 million times it hit people's screens. Next. This is just, a lot of these are gonna look they're very similar, okay? These get differentiated, just kind of nuanced a little bit here. Post ads, feed stories. This is displayed on your screen, but you didn't really click on it. This is anytime you just saw it as you were kind of scrolling through. Next. That's a little bit of our Facebook presence. Currently, we have more rogue Facebook pages that are out there. I say that because I don't have access to it. What's that? It's blank on purpose. This just allows me to. So in a year and a half, all of our social media will have to follow ADA compliance, just like our website does. Okay? So I've been trying to slowly gather every social media account that we have under my umbrella so that I can make sure that we're following the law. What I mean by ADA compliance is that it mainly has to be able to be read by screen readers. If you put something on the internet, it needs to be able to be read by a screen reader. That's really hard to do. It's really hard to do. Pretty much anyone in the community can tell you they're real mad about me not putting on the school calendar as a picture on social media and on the website. I can't, because there's no way to be able to embed the information in a picture about the calendar, because it would have to start January 1. Anything on January 1, January 2, January 3, January 4, January 5, and so on and so forth. Every time somebody clicked on that picture, it would have to play. That is non-compliant. As the Office of Civil Rights has told, was very adamant about that. No calendar, no lunch menu. We use the website to do that. We're not really happy about it, but it satisfies the law, and that's what really matters. They'll get used to it. One of the things that we were brainstorming is how to kind of deal with some of the losses that we've had. We're battling charter schools and we're battling the Hope Scholarship. That's just a fact. We are losing students to that. So what do? We can't just sit around and do nothing. But we don't want to throw pasta on the wall. And that doesn't work. That's what we do now. A school sends me something, I put it on their page. It's not advertising. It's not marketing. It does a little bit of it, but that's not really what we want. But we don't want to do the shotgun approach. We don't know what's going on. Next slide. What I want to do this is a long-term project, is gather demographic, socioeconomic demographic, and more just sociodemographic information on students that leave our system. We want to know who they are. It doesn't really matter. Male or female, I want to know their socioeconomic background. I want to know where they went. I want to know when they went. I want to know, did they play sports? I want to know, were they in trouble? And then I want to create a profile on that type of student. Next. We want to identify trends in demographics, academic performance, behavioral patterns, and family dynamics on students that leave. That way, we can try to catch some of these things early and maybe change a student's path from maybe someone who will leave here next year to someone who may stay. To do this, we want to use data from WEVIS and hopefully parent exit surveys. That's a little bit more difficult. But the WEVIS part is actually pretty simple. We have that data and I have access to that data. I've done a little bit of preliminary, but it doesn't tell me much. Student records, there you go. Go back. There we go. WEVIS data. Age, grade level, socioeconomic status, geographic location, where they went, and academic performance, attendance, behavior, and disciplinary actions. Okay? We want to gather all of this data. Family engagement data, this is where I would really need buy-in from counselors and school administrators. If we can get that, we can add that to the data and give us a lot more information. Go ahead, Todd. This will be parent exit surveys. This would actually be very valuable. Very valuable. However, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Really, you want this survey. Anybody sell used cars at any time in their life? Anytime you buy a used car, they want you to fill out that survey, right? Or a new car. They want you to fill out a survey. Happy people, customers, don't usually fill out those surveys. Disgruntled customers fill out those surveys. We just need the surveys filled out. So ideally, when someone comes into an office and says, I'm pulling my kid, we have somebody there, a counselor, somebody that says, well, what's the problem? Then we get this survey going. We have that counselor, we have that person say very specific questions. We jot down the answers, we add it to the survey. We could also do mailers, we could also do online, all that stuff's possible. The key metrics, obviously, academics, attendance, behavioral, demographic, and of course, feedback from parents. Protecting identity is paramount to this. We very much have to protect their identities, and we cannot use them at all. How you do that is you put everybody in a spreadsheet, student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4. That's actually the easiest part, but is the most paramount. Anything that is identifiable has got to be gone from the data. WEVIS data and survey responses we analyzed using data visualization and statistical software such as Excel. Qualitative feedback from surveys will be coded and categorized to identify recurring themes. We're looking for themes. We're looking for sticking points that we see. If we see a lot of students have left in a particular year, well, maybe 90% of them got in trouble. That's something really good to know. Maybe they had behavioral problems. Maybe that's something that we need to quantify. Maybe if we look at those and say, hey, this kid's starting to get into more behavioral problems, we can do a little bit more intervention because we know eventually that kid may leave and become more of a problem for us. Outcomes. A detailed student profile outlining common characteristics of those who leave Harrison County Schools for the Hope Scholarship and for charter schools would be our main demographics. The coding is a lot. There's a lot of reasons as to why people leave. I can tell you that it's coded in WEVIS right now. The majority of kids that have left since July 1 have gone out of state. I don't know what that means. I'll never know what that means. It's just that's what they're coded. We're going to focus on the ones who are specifically leaving for the Hope Scholarship and for charter schools. We want to identify red flags such as attendance patterns, academic declines, or social disengagement. The social disengagement, that really comes in the high school level. I want to know what they do. What was this kid like? That's where your administrators, that's where your counselors can come in and help out with that data. At the end, we want proactive interventions. Enhance communication with family, academic support programs, or improve social emotional learning initiatives. Here's what we can deliver, we think. A report. Comprehensive report detailing findings, including visual data, representations, charts, and graphs. Pretty easy to do, not difficult. We wouldn't just do this once. This would be an ongoing thing every semester from now until we just decide we don't want to do it anymore. Rod, you want to go back? There we go. Actionable items. A set of actionable recommendations for school leadership and staff, and an implementation plan. Todd, is there one more slide? There should be two more, but this is a good one. Potential problems. WEVIS is a bear. Okay? The new WEVIS is very siloed. Okay? What I mean by that is that I could put something on one screen and it does not reflect on another screen. And I have to enter the data on that screen too, but that might override this data. So we get to a point where we don't quite know exactly sometimes what's going on. We're also at the whims of all of our schools and a lot of other schools to input data correctly. Is it always correct? No, it's not. Is it mostly correct? Yes. But that does present a potential problem that I have to really worry about because I have to pull data from different screens. Parents and guardians simply may be unwilling to answer. That's just simple. They just might not. Staff, we will need help with this. This is not something I can do by myself. I will need help with this. Keep going. Okay. What I would like to do is form a subcommittee with school administrators and maybe a few teachers from different schools that may help me out with this. One of the things that I've been told 3 or 4 times by some different families who don't want to send their kids to, let's say, Nutter Fort. They say it's too big. Okay? We all know that there are benefits to bigger elementary schools. We know that. But do you really want me selling that while we have smaller schools? If I sell that, that's not a great look because we may be kind of putting down some of our smaller schools. That's why I'd like to have a subcommittee that could help me out with the wording and kind of direct me towards places that I would need to go because their help would be invaluable. That's it.
Thank you, very good.
We were shocked when we looked at the Beavis data of the kids that have left, and it does say out of state, left the state. So we don't know whether it's just what schools are putting in. Most of them just say left the state. So we need to figure out why we're coding them that way, or I can't imagine we've got the majority of them just leaving the state. So that was our first look at the kids that left to try to find out where they're going, and it's at leave the state. So, interesting.
We just should have enough for still in the pool, right?
Mhm.
Just out the pool taken, still yet in our state.
They don't float in that pool anymore. There's a different.
Different pool.
Yeah, I know. You used to have the ones that you didn't pick up and you knew who was
Yeah.
out there. Yeah, it's very different. And one screen will tell you for the same child out of state, and another screen will tell you left for homeschool. So we don't know. So that's the stuff we'll have to really work
Data's only as
through.
good as it's entered.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Geico.
Garbage in, garbage
So we
out.
really do want to find out, and then that's when we can market for kids to keep them. Anyway, that's all I have.
Very nice job. Thank you. All right, takes us down to consent items. Is there a motion to approve consent items as presented? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Medicaid billing services MOU for 2024-2025 school year. Is there a motion to approve the Medicaid billing MOU with Marion County Schools for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, as presented by the superintendent?
Make a motion, we approve the MOU.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? This will be for Marion County Board of Education to provide Medicaid billing and review services for the fiscal year ending June 30th at a rate of $55 an hour for an estimated purchase order not to exceed $85,000. There are no further discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. HVAC filter service maintenance agreement. Is there a motion to approve Charleston Filter Service to provide scheduled filter replacement supplies and services for all Harrison County Schools HVAC systems for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, in the amount not to exceed $237,330.67. You have the score sheet and the bid tabulation in front of you.
They the only ones that bid on it?
We've been using them for years, haven't we?
They the only ones bid on it?
Yeah, there's a lot to that. One is whoever would get the job has to make their own, the frames, put the media in, and that was something that, I guess maybe another company just didn't want to do. Because we had several people that were interested, but didn't bid on it.
And we've been using them for years, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's not right.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And if you don't mind, I'd like to take, if there's no objection, E, indoor bleachers and Robert C. Byrd High School before we take the American benefits. Is there any objection to that? No. All right. So at this point in time, is there a motion to accept the proposal made by Davis Athletics under TIPS Cooperative Purchasing Contract to remove the existing exterior bleachers provide and install new interior bleachers at Seabury High School in the amount of $404,424.
I so moved.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. Were they the only ones to bid?
They have a co-op, they're part of the co-op, so we did get 3 bids. They were the best price,
Okay.
but because they have a co-op, we did not have to officially formally bid that. They were the ones that, I guess they looked at the bleachers there a few years ago as well. I think Mr. Lopez, you might have been initially in that or not with Mr. Gibson.
Yes.
And the mechanisms on it, that's the original bleachers to that school, so it's just going to be part of the, improvements to the building. They're just needing replaced.
Where will this money come from?
It's part of the improvement money for the building. It's all part of our agreement that we've made with the SBA, our share, and then hopefully we'll get the funding from the SBA. We'll know here.
So that if we get the funding from the SBA,
Well, this will be our portion that when we did the needs grant, we said that we would pay, it's a $2 million match to that. So this is all coming out of that to get the work done to the buildings.
so we have that money on hand.
Yes. Yeah, we wouldn't put it up. Funding.
I didn't know we was,
Yeah.
I didn't want to come out.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. This will bring us to recommend to discontinue American Benefits Corporation. Superintendent Stutler, did you want to bring anything up with this?
Sure. We wanted to get it on the agenda for really a discussion here. And I understand the concerns and the employee concerns I've heard as well. And I think this is not a decision that has to be made right at this moment. For sure, it looks like we need to do some more investigation. I think we just have the one, but you can talk.
So, yeah, I just wanted to clarify some points. First of all, it's not American Benefits insurance plan, okay? We have a self-insured, so we reimburse as long as we do that, okay? It's not their plan, it's our plan, and they're the third-party administrator for us. So that we don't have to have an employee who knows all that medical stuff to figure out what's valid and what's not.
So the benefits are this, we can make the benefits what we want to pay per procedure.
Number one. Number two, we can't change the dental plan unless we know that we are going to be changing the third-party administrator for the simple fact that the dental plan has American Benefits throughout it as a third-party administrator. And so that's where we got, it's in this little convoluted discussion, because we can't do anything until the board gives us a direction to say, we want to move forward, look at this, and come up with a better plan. I think it's crucial to remember that we want to continue to provide the best benefits for our employees. But we need to be able to do it where, wouldn't it be nice if an employee, before they went, they could put on into an app, a report, and say, I've got an appointment with this dentist, and I'm having this done. What am I going to have to pay? We don't have that now. You do have that. Bento has platforms that you can get information like that. You can flow through it. American Benefits Corporation, they don't have a platform like that. There's no reports I can get from the system that tells me how much is owed to a single dentist at any one time. It's not there for me. We don't have any information.
We did ask for cards from American Benefits.
I don't know what this is, but I looked it up today and it says it's American Benefits Smart Mobile.
But it doesn't have a lot of, there's no way.
I can't actually get in because I don't have it. All I'm just saying is that I printed off their Smart Mobile user guide and there's, apparently they do have an app.
No additional information. We can't get anything as an administration to see or follow up with anything. So if I need to follow up on, like, with All Smiles Dental, I know that, there were some issues getting them paid. There was no way for me to go in and look to see what was pending. I had to contact American Benefits and they had to go through it. But there's a lot of other pieces to this, and I'm not gonna get into anything because they've done,
I know, I always had a list of what things would cost me if I had them done.
but the February 2024 cyber attack that she spoke to, do you know when we as the customer, because we're the customer, American Benefits, we pay them to be our administrator. Do you know when we found out about it? When I was trying to find out why a dentist had not been paid in the birthday in September. And they said, oh, we had a cyber attack. When did you let us know? I think they let the dentist know, but they did not let us know either.
It sounded like it was correct? It was like a nationwide thing. It wasn't American
No,
Benefits.
it was their platform that they used. Like, I got something in the mail in late August, but it didn't say American Benefits. What it said was this group had a cyber attack. Like, whenever I had a cyber attack issue at Mon General or WB Medicine, it was like, your security was breached for Mon General. They follow up with it.
It wasn't actually American, it
It wasn't American Benefits, but it was
we
the
can wait till after
platform
the
they
meeting.
were
I don't want to
using
take
get
any
the billing.
calls from the
Yes,
meeting.
that's what I found out later.
Ms. Collins, just
But anyway,
please address us.
There's a lot of other things. What I'd like to do is to get together and work on our dental and vision plan.
But now you said they don't even have vision.
No,
Bento.
well, Bento has it, 2025.
Do we know what month?
Anyway.
So I think what's giving me agita is, and I used American Benefits for years and didn't have any trouble with them as an employee, but I understand, you're on a different side of the coin. But I want to see a breakdown, because when I looked at the evaluation that you three did, American Benefit came in first twice and then second. But I want to see what is it gonna cost our employees to pay, because I know we pay a little bit, but I wanna see, like, when I change insurances, I'm like, this is what I want. I want exactly these things. So I want a list of.
That's the beauty of this. It is our plan. It's not American Benefits plan. It's Harrison County's plan. And they're just administrating our plan.
So are you saying then the whatever is paid now is gonna be paid by
We
Bento?
can look at that because there's some things like the vision, I don't think the vision has been updated correctly. And so the vision portion of what we currently have, they pay $75 for like single vision lens. That's not per lens, that's $75. I don't know if anybody's got glasses. Now the frames is about $200, that's pretty standard. But the other pieces of that in the examination fees, those all need to be revamped.
So we can still do that with American Benefits, revamp all those numbers with American Benefits, right?
We can do lots of things, but that's what, we can't do anything until we know what we're gonna be moving forward. And there's some additional.
But you were saying that those numbers can need revamped, but we can also revamp those numbers with American Benefits.
But we don't have to
Right.
stay with them either. They're also charging us more administration costs than what the other places are.
What about the,
And they can't tell me the breakdown of how they're getting some of those.
what about the provider networks? How does that work with Bento versus American Benefits?
Right now, they're not been built yet here.
They only have 8 dentists or practices
But that's
and.
because they're not here. Actually, there's.
Right,
two
they're
counties.
only in
They're
2
they're
counties.
in 2 counties right now, and I spoke to the treasurers of those 2 counties. And they said that, it's been a wonderful experience. They have, worked, they have been exceptional to work with. They've been able to easily enroll and upload the census files. They can get things back and forth. They've not had any negative comments from the providers that they've been, from their experience working with them. And they're getting paid within about 3 weeks because they're also what the other piece that we need to understand is, the board must approve, under state law, the board must approve every invoice for payment before it goes out. Okay? We meet twice a month. We are getting the invoices, and as we're getting them, we're putting them on the board agenda for you guys to tell us that we can pay it. So they're getting, there should be, there's only a couple times a year, like from October to November. We got a 3-week time frame, whatever, we're in meetings for next week.
So
And
is,
after that, they should be able to get the payments out.
so is this that coordination that she was talking about, the communication?
I started
coordination that was-
communicating with them in May, and showed them what our concern and what we need.
Is that what she was talking about, the coordination and the
And
communication?
I've had lots of meetings with them.
But is that a yes?
We asked, yes.
Okay.
No, we have had lots of meetings. I've asked them to make some changes that would be beneficial for them, and easier for them, but I don't think they've made them.
Not knowing what you have to pay. I know every time I go to the dentist, if I'm going to have something done, they will print it out on a sheet what it's going to cost me
Right.
whenever I come back. So that's not a problem.
But you don't have.
But there's some more, there's some other
Oh, yeah.
issues
You don't have.
that I can't discuss over.
He did for years.
Well, you did for years, you're retired now.
So what about back to the provider issue? What about doctors that are not considered providers under Bento, that are considered providers under American benefits?
Right now, we've not put a push, we've not sent out anything to put a push.
What undue burden would that put on doctors?
They can actually sign up, if they would want to sign up, they can sign up on their app. One of the things that the other treasurer told me was that she went to go, they went over January, Fayette County went January of 2024. And so her dentist visit was January 10th, so just a few days in. So she put in that she was going to this one dentist, that they reached out to the dentist.
What are their parameters for accepting practices or dentists?
I don't know, I know that they are one of the only ones that are recognized by the American Dental Association and West Virginia Dental Association.
So I think there's two things here, right? Where we've got, you want to redo the benefits, which I understand. You want to try to get better benefits for the employees, and I'm all for that 100%. But the plan administrator seems to be the sticking point here. And Bento versus American benefits as the plan administrator. So in my opinion, wouldn't we, as a organization, want to get the benefits squared away first?
But I can't do that without getting the, because they have to redo the plan itself. And so ideally, it should have never had American benefits name in it at all. But I don't know if that's the direction we want to go.
Well, can I ask a question? Why in May then, when we did the, whatever that RFP?
We did an RFP in May.
Why did we vote in May for American benefits? I mean, obviously, they were the chosen plan
It's been doing
that
for
when
years.
because we've had it for years, and they were actually received the higher points,
They were the
and
administrator.
they were the administrator of the plan, okay? And we voted to do that, and now all of a sudden, we want to change it. I don't understand.
So we voted to them, and first of all, we're required to bid it at least every 3 years.
And we did,
And American benefits came out on top.
but we did in May.
American benefits
And
came out on top.
American benefits came out on top,
Well,
and we approved them in May.
And you remember the notes that were in the discussion?
And one of them said something about an app, when they have an app.
They've never
A
actually
smart app.
provided all the apps that they were supposed to provide. All the digital.
And how important is that app?
For me, that's the only way that I can access my benefits with my company. So
Well, I understand, but
that's just the way the technology.
We asked for a benefit card, because that was something that
They can
employees.
read and write.
Yeah, you've never had a benefit card.
I've never had a card.
I mean, we used to get them.
Never needed.
We've never needed it.
Yeah.
I've never been provided,
never had one. You just.
Yeah, and that was something they.
Yeah,
did.
to me, the cards are a minor,
So
I got it.
let's go back to the part where let's go back to the part where we were talking about the plan, the plan for the employees. Okay, so you're saying that you need us to approve or accept the direction for Bento or American Benefits in order for us to be able to develop a plan?
Or what you could also do is say, all of this is paid, and we want you to work on getting our plan aligned with what we need for employees.
That's what I would like.
It makes more sense for me to have something on paper and then tell Bento and American Benefits, what can you do, what do you think?
That's my thought.
And let the employees.
And let the employees have a say,
Not come here and stick it on.
and, I personally have talked to two
She has
dentists.
to stick it on the agenda in order for us to be able to
Yeah, we
discuss.
have to have this, but I've talked to two dentists, one, did not like the fact that, so this dentist got an October check, at the end of November. But I talked to another dentist who, liked American Benefit, he said, yeah, so what, I got an October check in November, or maybe, the beginning of this week, he said, but the bottom line is I still get a check every month. So they're able to do payroll and, and
Well, let's
pay their
be
utilities,
careful
so.
what we say about other companies in open meeting. Okay, I don't want us to disparage any company either way.
No,
But what I'm saying is, I think that the way that we should go, in my opinion, is to find the benefits and then find the administrator.
and
That's
talk
my
to
thought.
some of the
Talk to
employees.
some of the employees, find out what benefits they want, they need. We can address those issues. And then at that point, we can go back to the administrator of the plans and say, this is what we're looking for.
And this plan is in effect until there's some decision made, so it's not affecting benefits.
Right,
It
we're
could
not
be-
canceling
Yeah,
benefits.
you could say July 1.
I think the
or
question,
whatever, yeah.
the problem that came up is there's actionable items from an agenda standpoint. It says we're going to recommend to discontinue and recommend to accept. That's where the actionable items came from. So at this point, we either have to have the superintendent pull them, or we have to table them, table both items.
I move that we table items C and D.
Second.
If there's a motion to table items C and D, if there's a second, is there any discussion?
Yes, I want to say one thing. That was what I was pertaining to is how that's in there. Recommend to discontinue on one line, the very next one, recommend somebody else. We haven't even talked about this.
Right.
So that's
right.
that's what I'm talking about.
Should have been put
And
on.
that's what every employee that's made a call, I'm sure, and I know the ones that I got, the text I got, that was it. It was right there, you're gonna wipe one out, put another one right in, without any discussion. They had no idea what was going on, nor did we.
Right, that should have been put on there as a discussion.
We don't need nervous employees.
All right, a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, this brings us down to old business. We have calendar A. Is there a motion to accept calendar A as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Now, what I'll say is if we accept calendar A, this will render calendar B moot, which we will not take a vote on to accept calendar B. So if there's no further discussion on calendar A, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No policy updates.
That was easy.
Yay, no policy.
Sorry, I promised you something, but you didn't get it. You didn't get the drama. All right, personnel matters. Is there a motion to accept the personnel matters as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on personnel matters? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No legal and disciplinary matters. Brings us down to board member comments. Mr. Tucker.
When the room was filled, that's the way it should be at every meeting. Be here to be informed. And if nothing else, our employees should have had it filled up tonight because of those two items right there. People just come to meetings, and you folks that came and stayed, thank you all very much. Thank you.
Mr. Hope.
No more comments.
Dr. Santilli?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you again to our retired employees, and they certainly deserve this accolade and many, many more.
Ms. Smith?
I echo Ms. Santilli and Ms.
I have no comments, other than thank you for putting the reception together. I appreciate that, Caitlin, very nice, and everyone involved. All right, if there are no further comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, it's been moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
Good job, out before 8.